Meir Deutsch, Director General of Regavim, Shalom.
Hi, thank you for having me.
You're continuing on your struggle, your battle against the illegal construction in two battlefronts. First of all, tell us what's going on in Judea and Samaria.
It is a few different battlefronts, but it's important to understand that it's actually one war.
If we connect what's happening in Judea and Samaria and what's happening with the Bedouins in the
Correct. If we're looking at the land of Israel, the land of Israel, the war of independence of the war of 48 has never ended. That's how we see it. The war over the land of Israel, where the Jewish state is going to be and where the Arab state is going to be. Okay, that war has never ended, and that continues happening on the ground. Since in the past 100 years, that war has never ended. It never stopped. It's true that the battle is no more with the weapons. It's not with a tank or with a gun. It's with a cement truck and a tractor. That's how the war is happening today. And it is true that it's two different battlefronts, but it's important to understand the bigger picture. In Judea and Samaria, we're talking about a Palestinian authority that sadly was recognized by the State of Israel in the Oslo agreements. And the Palestinian authority is funded by the European Union and the Arab states with billions of dollars. It has very set plans of how to overtake Judea and Samaria.
So you're saying it's a strategy. It's not just Arabs who want to build themselves a home.
We're talking about a strategy. It's not a investment.
There's documentation that proves that.
The Fayette Plan of 2009 talks about it very clearly. The Fayette Plan, the title of the Fayette Plan is how to end the occupation and establish a state. That's the headline of the Fayette Plan, and it talks very clearly. In Judea and Samaria, the Palestinian Authority is going to create the Palestinian state de facto. It's going to put facts down on the ground, and that's how the Palestinians are going to have a state. That's exactly how the Jewish state was created. We need to remember the Jewish state was not established in 1948. In 1948, there was the Declaration of Independence. That means all what was done in the land of Israel, the 40 years beforehand, of building schools, building communities, planting trees, paving roads, all that in 1948 was declared that all of that is now a state. That is exactly what the Palestinian Authority is doing in the past 10 years. They're paving roads, they're building neighborhoods, they're building schools, universities, connecting all these communities to electricity and water. They are building a state.
And Israel can make it stop?
Definitely. Israel, once the government of Israel decides to put a stop to the overtake of the Palestinian Authority, it has all the ability to do so. And we presented to all the leaders of the different parties, we presented a very clear plan of how the State of Israel could do it. No one could stop the establishment of a Palestinian state except for the State of Israel. No organization or NGO or individuals. We could do some actions to try to make the situation a bit better. We're talking about a foreign entity, the Palestinian Authority, funded by billions, by states. We're talking about a very strategical plan. The only power that could stop that is the State of Israel. But in order to do that, the State of Israel has to make a decision that it wants to do that.
And something that even proves this connection, that it's all part of a big war against Israel, is what you revealed yesterday, that one of the terrorists that fled from the shooting attack in the Jordan Valley, was actually someone that you are familiar with his name and his activity in that field exactly, of taking over lands.
Exactly. The person there were 3 terrorists that were involved in the shooting a few days ago, and the terrorist that is now in the chase, he is involved for many years in the overtaking of land in the Jordan Valley, illegal building, illegal stealing water supplies, and creating electricity infrastructure for the illegal Palestinian overtaking of the Jordan Valley. Just so you understand, one of the things he's known for is stealing water from water wells. He used the pump to steal the water. He used the same pump. He put it on his car to try to splash gas on the bus. His idea was to splash splash gasoline on the bus, and then
with the Molotov cocktails.
Exactly, and that's how. By the way, they were stopped because something went wrong with this pump, but it's the same water, so it's really using the same tools for the overtaking of land in Judea and Samaria. It's the same tools that are shooting or creating the terrorist attacks against the state of Israel.
Okay, so finally, tell us about what's going on in the Negev in a few words.
In the past year, sadly, we see an extreme increase of the chutzpah, the boldness of the people, the Bedouins in the Negev, in terms of attacking women in the streets in Be'er Sheva, in terms of the illegal building. In the past year, we see that increase of the feel that they can do whatever they want. We see it on the main roads in the Negev. We see it all in the Jewish towns, all the weapons. We knew for many years that they're shooting at each other inside the Bedouin towns. In the past year, these weapons are aimed towards Jews in the Negev, and something that we knew it's going to happen. We told all the people that were supposed to deal with it, and sadly, it wasn't taken care of.
And you're saying it's because of the way they're living there with the illegal construction. You're actually saying build or create official, recognized communities. It's not you're saying kick them out, but you're saying create some sort of law and order.
Right. The problem in the Negev is the lawlessness. In order to solve the problem, we need to create law and order. In order to do that, the people in the Negev need to live in legal towns. I'm not sure how many people know that there are more than 90,000 people, Bedouins in the Negev, that live in illegal towns. In more than 3,000 clusters of illegal buildings that were structures, shacks and tents and houses that are spread out on a huge amount of land in the Negev. We're talking about 650,000 dunam. That's twice the Gaza Strip. Okay, a section of the Negev that is twice as Gaza Strip was taken over by the Bedouins in the Negev. There's no way to have law and order in such a way of living. The Bedouins in the Negev have to live in legal, recognized cities and towns, the same as any other citizen of the state of Israel.
Okay, Meir Deutsch, Director General of Regavim, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.